Welcome home, brave heroes. I'm Ash, this is HeroQuest, and recently, UK-based Etsy HeroQuest homebrew creator Heroicadventurers, that was a very poor spread, sent me this awesome set of hero skill cards. It's not going to happen. I just don't have that talent, which we covered in a previous video, tapping the deck to get my point home. But I was also very kindly sent this additional set of ninja cards, wolf cards, and artifacts. Now I know what you could be thinking, ninja, wolf, not my style, I'm going to click off of this video. But wait, in not just an effort to make sure I get your precious watch time, but in an appeal to gain your trust, I offer the following. Even if you don't think that the idea of a ninja in HeroQuest is a good idea, or if you don't follow that a wolf should have its own skills if it does join your party in HeroQuest, think about this. Heroicadventurers is my favorite homebrew creator, and the ideas that they bring to the homebrew that they create for the game are very well thought out, super balanced, and always have great mechanics, in my opinion. Now, they say a rose by any other thorn is just a name, or something like that. But you can always homebrew your own heroes using skills and abilities similar to those found in the Wolf and Ninja decks. So at the very least, stick around and let's see what is inside this product offering. The very first thing is the Ninja card. The Ninja looks to be a hero with a standard movement of 2 red dice, 2 attack dice, 3 defend, 5 body, and 4 mind. And just a little fun fact here in the kana to the left and right of the Ninja on the scrolls in the background, Luis Dante. Really cool detail to sneak in there. Ninja. You are the ninja, a silent warrior who kills enemies without being seen. You only trust yourself, so you only use your equipment and don't drink any potions unless they have healing properties. The ninja starts with the following equipment: a ninjato, a blowed pipe with 1 poison dart, a smoke bomb, 3 sets of caltrops, 3 shurikens, and a grappling hook. Between quests, you have time to recraft, use weapons, and restore your crafting equipment, but to do so, you need to spend 100 gold coins to purchase the necessary materials. Ninja skills are usually discarded after use unless otherwise stated on the card, but you regain all your skills at the start of a new quest. So right away, we already see that the mechanics for this hero are thought out. There are 10 ninja skills and equipment cards, and we'll go ahead and take a look at them. Grappling hook. You may use the grappling hook every time you are falling into a pit trap, chasm, or crevasse to try saving you from the fall. Roll a combat die. If the result is a skull, you throw the grappling hook successfully and suffer no damage. Your turn ends anyway. You may exit the pit on your next turn. On any other result, you fail and suffer damage as usual. A great passive ability. Caltrops. During your turn, you may place a caltrops tile on any square you move through. When a figure steps on it, they must roll a combat die. On any result but a white shield, their turn ends, and the tile must be discarded. If a white shield is rolled, they skip the caltrops. Using the caltrops doesn't count as an action. You're unaffected by caltrops. Beautiful, another passive ability that you can always use. Now, as to anybody wondering about how many times you'd be able to use the caltrops, you have 3 sets of caltrops, so you can use this card 3 times. And just to assist you, there is a card with this particular set that is divided up into 3 shuriken and 3 caltrops. So you can cut along the dotted lines, and then you have beautiful tiles that you can set down on your board tiles for your classic game. And yes, these are cards that are sized for the non-US editions of the classic HeroQuest game. As such, they mesh perfectly well with the hero skill cards and the chaos deck. So if you have storage solutions that you're using for those, sleeves, boxes of any kind, these will fit in that same storage solution. Chateau. Crafted by a master swordsmith from your lands, the blade of this ancient sword is so sharp that it can easily cut anything in half. It may only be used by a ninja, granting him 2 attack dice. All enemies roll 1 less combat die when defending from this sword. Now that is pretty cool. That changes things up a little bit. That really changes the odds. It's a weapon that affects the number of dice that an enemy rolls in defense. It's not the same as giving you an extra attack die, because the enemy defends with a black shield. The enemy has a 1 in 6 chance of rolling a successful defense on a single die. You're taking away one of their defenses. Really interesting. I like that. At first I was going to say, wow, it's so sharp it can cut anything in half unless you roll 2 dice and, you don't cut anything in half. Just 2 attack dice. What makes it so special? But that does make it special. That is a special weapon. You only use your equipment as per the ninja card, hero card. So this is exclusive to the ninja, and the ninja's only going to use this in their arsenal. other than the other pieces of equipment here. Blowpipe. Roll a combat die to fire a poison dart at a non-adjacent enemy. If you roll a skull, you hit the enemy, otherwise you miss. On each of their turns, the victim must roll a combat die. If a skull is rolled, the poison causes 1 point of damage. If a black shield is rolled, the venom effect is over. Using the blowpipe requires your whole turn. It doesn't affect undead or magical creatures. Discard after use. Alright, so we get 1 turn with the blowpipe per quest. Silent Death. You may use this skill only while you're hidden in shadows, more on that in just a bit, to throw a shuriken at an enemy unaware of your presence. It will inflict 3 body points of damage. The victim then rolls 3 red dice. For each 5 or 6 rolled, the damage is reduced by 1 point, and it requires a shuriken. We're going to look for that skill really quick. Hide in shadows. To give this context, you may hide in shadows, becoming almost invisible. If you attack, you become visible, but the enemy must roll 1 red die. If they score less than their mind points, they notice you and may defend as usual. Otherwise, they cannot defend. While invisible, you roll only 1 movement die. Regain the skill when you kill 5 enemies. May only be used in rooms. So, still going to continue my opinion and praise of Heroic Adventurers' ability to make sure that these cards are balanced as much as possible. So it's going to be up to your interpretation. If Silent Death removes the hide in shadows condition from the ninja, I would consider this an attack, in my opinion. It's not a standard attack. It's not a regular roll combat dice. It is a specialty. But I think one could argue that this was rules as intended. If you use Silent Death, the enemy is just going to die. You're suddenly not going to be hidden in the shadows anymore. I guess I could see it going either way. Perhaps the creator can elaborate on this use case down below. Heightened senses. Your acute senses make it very difficult for anyone to surprise you. If you draw a wandering monster card, roll a red die. If you roll an even number, you notice the monster in time and avoid the attack automatically. If you roll an odd number, the combat is resolved as normal. The skill is never discarded. Another great passive ability. Shuriken. You may throw 1 shuriken per turn to attack a non-adjacent opponent in your line of sight. It will inflict 1 body point of damage unless the target can immediately roll a 5 or 6 using 1 red die. A shuriken is lost once it is thrown. You have 3 shuriken per quest. Silent Death. It is implied that you would lose the shuriken, but it isn't explicitly stated. It does say that it requires a shuriken, but it doesn't say that you lose it. Perhaps you can go retrieve it from the monster. I think the general rule would be that you do lose the shuriken. Still, it would be nicer to see it on the card explicitly stated. Smoke Bomb. You may throw a smoke bomb at any time, even during another player's turn. When the bomb explodes, a dark smoke surrounds you, confusing your enemies and increasing the chance to miss you. When enemies attack you, they must re-roll all their successful combat dice once. The smoke lasts for 2 turns. You only get 1 smoke bomb per quest if you've paid for the upkeep to get the materials, and I would say that you definitely don't have to pay for your very first quest as a ninja. But it doesn't count as an action. You can use it any time, even on other players' turns. Dragon Flame. If your body points are reduced to 2 or less, you may skip your turn to summon the Dragon Flame. It will immediately recover 2 lost body points or grant you 3 extra combat dice on your next attack, or 1 extra combat dice in defense until you're wounded. And if you're wounded and you have 2 body points, it's likely that you're gonna die. Very cool cards. Why don't we take a quick break and look at some of the artifacts that were crafted for this product. Axe of Destruction. This powerful hand axe can attack with 10 combat dice. That's a ridiculous amount of combat dice. That is record-breakingly, earth-shatteringly way too many combat dice. However, let's keep reading. But after its first blow, it returns to a normal hand axe. To restore the magic power, the axe must be touched with a magic artifact. The artifact will lose its power forever, and the axe will be recharged for a new destructive blow. That's right. You could take an item such as the Ring of Recall, or the Wizard's Cloak, or the Spirit Blade, and recharge the Axe of Destruction for a final, critical, desperate blow against the big, bad, evil guy last boss in your campaign. The Tempest Sword. This magic sword allows you to attack with 3 combat dice. Once per quest, you can also invoke a small tempest against any 1 monster you can see. That monster will then miss his next turn. May be used by any character, even the wizard. Amazing. A sword with a magical ability and 3 combat dice. That's not a slouch. That's a good weapon. Especially a good weapon for a wizard. The Dragon Spear, a long magical spear of dwarven make. When using it, roll 3 combat dice to attack or roll 4 combat dice if attacking a dragon. It may be used to attack diagonally, may not be used by the wizard. Alright, before we look at the rest of the artifact cards, let's look at the Wolf. The Wolf is a move 10 squares, attack 3 dice, defend 2 dice, body 5, and mind 1 creature. The wolf may attack diagonally. Wolf skills. Between quests, the wolf can be trained to learn special skills. A wolf can only gain 1 skill per training. The wolf must maintain training after each quest, otherwise he may forget the acquired skills. So Doggy Obedience School. Upkeep training costs 20 gold coins per skill. If the hero does not want to pay for upkeep training, he must roll a combat die for each skill card possessed by the wolf. If a black shield is rolled, the wolf has forgotten that skill and the card is returned to the deck. It may be learned again, paying the full cost. So you could teach the old dog new tricks. They might forget in between quests, or they might not. And there's not a cost just for training, so that's a pretty neat feature. Anyways, we've got wolf skill and equipment. And first, we've got Pit Jump. This skill allows the wolf to roll 1 extra die when jumping over any pit, trap, chasm, or crevasse. If the required symbol is rolled on any die, the wolf successfully jumps over the pit. Training cost, 200 gold coins. Ooh, the cost is on the card. Okay. I thought it was free to train them. That's not the case. Howl of Battle. The wolf skips his turn and howls. Its howl is like a battle song that echoes through the dungeon. All heroes in the wolf's line of sight may roll 1 additional attack die on their next turn. It may be used only once per quest. It's like a bard's inspiring tale, but it's a doggy. Going woof, bork, bark, bork, bork. Door opening. This skill allows the wolf to open a door. To do so, roll a combat die. If a skull is rolled, it successfully opens the door and may continue its turn. On any other roll, it fails, ending the turn immediately. Good dog. I'll probably skip that one in my quests. Iron Claws. These metal claws are designed to be attached to a wolf's paws via leather straps. If the wolf damages an enemy, the damage is increased by 1 point. The claws also prevent slipping on icy ground. May only be combined with a leather armor. Wow, what? Okay, so we rig these claws to this wolf like some sort of Digimon. It costs 400 gold coins. And if the wolf does damage an enemy, it doesn't matter how many defend dice the enemy rolled, they're going to get hit with an additional body point worth of damage. So that is what is truly making this wolf stand out from the other heroes so far. Team attack. Use this skill before your hero's turn. Hero and wolf both perform their movement first, then combine their attack dice against a monster which is adjacent to both of them. The monster only rolls his defense dice once against their attack. May only be used once per quest. I like that one. Leather armor. Nice. This leather armor is designed to fit a wolf body. It allows the wolf to re-roll 1 combat die when defending. Really like that. Not just roll an extra, but re-roll. Metal armor. I don't want to weigh my doggo down with metal armor. These metal guards are designed to fit over the wolf's leather armor. Once combined with the leather armor, it grants the wolf 1 extra defend die. Due to its weight, this armor reduces the wolf's movement to 8 squares and also negates the pit jump skill. So we have branches. We have different flavors of endgame wolf. That is cool. Look at this progression of the art. And finally, my goodness, demon armor. And look at this Berserker of Khorne headwear on this wolf. We have a cost, by the way, 400 gold coins for the leather, 7 for the metal. The demon armor costs 1,200 gold coins. Inspired by the statue of Stone Demon, this metal armor gives the wolf a truly fearsome appearance. A monster with 1 or 2 mind points will be so frightened at the sight of this armor that they will roll 1 less die than usual on both attack and defense when fighting the wolf. I don't know what to tell you. I think that is pretty badass. If you'll excuse my français. I really like that. That's awesome. The demon armor is just a good idea to take and use for other characters as well. A nice high price, but perhaps worth it. All right, let's take a look at the last 3 artifacts that came with this particular delivery. The Crown of Darkness. This magical crown gives you 1 extra defend die and allows you to see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical. And that can be worn by the wizard. Good headwear there, perhaps unless you're already wearing the cloak. But you could wear a cloak and a crown at the same time. It might look a little silly, but Chaotic Sword. This sword is strengthened by chaos powers. Each time you attack an enemy, roll 1 red die first. The result will be the number of combat dice you will use to attack your enemy. It may not be used by the wizard. I really like this sword. Really like this weapon idea. I would get this in a heartbeat and play a chaotic character. And finally, the Magic Horn. This ancient horn is able to instantly awaken every hero or monster who has fallen under a magic sleep wherever they are on the board. Blowing the horn counts as an action. I don't know about that one. I don't know that I would consider that super useful. However, If I were Zargon and I wanted to spruce up a game and somebody used that horn, I would check the quest notes and see if there were any demons that had been long in slumber and they only wake up when you enter the room, or other figures in the lore of the quest, and go ahead and wake them up. I think it would be hilarious to have different monsters on the board actually wake up and be able to move around, although it wouldn't do much good, I guess, if they were confined in their room, because as we all know, monsters don't know how to open doors in HeroQuest, so the result, I guess, would be the exact same. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this overview of Heroic Adventurers, aka Les Dodantes, set of ninja and wolf cards and the artifacts. I definitely see a lot of potential to inspire people to make newer mechanics and more stuff for their own games, more customized experiences. But if you're not really down for all that, just go ahead and get these. I've put the store link in the description below, and I highly recommend visiting and just getting, pretty much everything that Heroic Adventurers has on offer. They have pretty much everything you could want to spruce up your game of HeroQuest, especially if you're playing with the classic edition of the game, because of all of the cards that are available with the older style art in the older size. The UK and US and all the non-US basically edition of HeroQuest. And that's it. Brave heroes, I bid you an excellent rest of your day, and until next time, onward.